We are fascinated by U.S. pastor and seer, Reverend Brandon Biggs' revelation about the heavenly sound.
I said, my goodness. All kinds of frequencies of sounds, the way he created us. God is a God of music. God is a God of worship. God is a God of praise. And there are sounds, there's heavenly sounds. And I'm telling you by the Spirit of God, there's a level of worship that we've never seen before for this next end time glorious church. There's another level of sound.
Another contemporary Christian seer and pastor, Kim Clement, also mentions a mysterious sound that's coming forth.
There is a sound. There is a sound that is coming forth, not from religion or man-made doctrines. There is a sound of Christ coming to the earth as it has never come before, says the Lord.
Interestingly, almost all ancient holy scriptures contain passages on the sound of divine origin. Sometimes the sound is called the word, logos, or the celestial melody. Other times it's called the transcendental sound, the Tao, Nam, the music of the spheres, Kalma, Quan, etc.
The sage Sutta Goswami said, O Brahmana, first the subtle vibration of transcendental sound appeared from the sky of the heart of the most elevated Lord Brahma, whose mind was perfectly fixed in spiritual realization. One can perceive this subtle vibration when one stops all external hearing. By worship of this subtle form of the Vedas, knowledge, O Brahmana, mystic sages cleanse their hearts of all contamination, caused by impurity of substance, activity, and doer, and thus they attain freedom from repeated birth and death.
And I heard a sound from heaven, like the roar of rushing waters, and like a loud peal of thunder. The sound I heard was like that of harpists playing their harps.
Those of you with more to learn, those enlightened by conditions, and those who are sound hearers, have now turned your minds to pursue the attainment of Supreme Buddhi, the unsurpassed wonderful enlightenment, the Surangama Sutra.
There is geometry in the humming of the strings. There is music in the spacing of the spheres. Pythagoras, vegan.
Hearing about him, the Lord, means immediate contact with him by the process of vibration of the transcendental sound. And the transcendental sound is so effective that it acts at once by removing all material affections. Srila Prabhupada, vegetarian. The entire world is filled with the divine light and sound of God. The blind still asks where God is. Cleanse your ears that are filled with the wax of arrogance and skepticism, and then you will hear the sound in every direction coming from the heavens above. It is a mystery why we wait to hear the divine trumpet resounding on the day of judgment, when the sweet sound of the divine trumpet resounds unceasingly. Mughal Prince Muhammad Dara Shikoh, vegetarian. The fleshly ear can hear these words. The soul's ear can attract God's secrets. Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, vegetarian. O ascetic, meditate on the cosmic sound of Om, because it is like rain for extinguishing the fire of suffering, and it is also like a lamp which illuminates the subtle essence of the sacred teachings. It is the governance of good deeds. Holy Gyanarnava.
The sound then flows and radiates like hibernating insects that begin to stir in spring, and I startle them with the crash of thunder. But there is no conclusion at the end, and no prelude at the beginning. Now dead, now alive, now falling, now rising. Their constancies alternate unendingly. Zhuangzi, vegetarian.
We must thank God that He has created for us both material blessings and spiritual bestowals. He has designed the outer ear to enjoy the melodies of sound and the inner hearing wherewith we may hear the voice of our Creator. The Promulgation of Universal Peace by Abdul Baha, vegetarian.
Etc. In recent years, members of the scientific community have started to uncover the fundamental role that sound and frequency play in the creation of the universe.
Through all the lies and deceptions, there is one common denominator that remains the source of all things. And this is where it gets really exciting. Sound and resonance, the common links of creation. Modern science tells us that we live in an electromagnetic universe. Everything spins and vibrates. I'd like to correct that. I'd like to say that it's not an electromagnetic universe, it's a magneto-electric universe. There's a very big difference between the two. And again, it's a small little subtlety, but it's a very important subtlety, because magnetism is a thing that rules the universe, not electricity. Sound, magnetism, electricity. And you'll see how this chain reaction causes everything that we observe when we look up at the night sky or the nature around us. Everything in creation spins and vibrates. Everything has its own prime resonance frequency. Everything. And this is why once we can identify a prime resonance frequency of a bacterium or an atom or whatever it is, or a soccer field, we can then manipulate that object with its prime resonance frequency. In Christianity, it's the word. In Hinduism, it's Om. The Egyptians believed the universe was sung into creation, and the original people of Australia believed that the world was created with 3 sacred songs. And then we have the phenomenal similarities between the 6 days of creation in Christianity and the word that created everything, the 6 aspects of Om, and the 6 aspects of the all-seeing eye of Horus, and you start seeing the connections between all these ancient cultures and the creation stories.
This mysterious sound has existed since the beginning of time, based on Reverend Brandon Biggs' message. The Lord is not only going to heal the world through divinely inspired music or songs, but more importantly, through the heavenly sounds of sacred vibrations and frequencies. Our most beloved Supreme Master Ching Vegan has been initiating people into the Quan method of meditation, which enables us to see inner heavenly light and hear inner heavenly sound. Master has explained clearly in many of her lectures about this precious method, especially the meaning of heavenly sound.
Now, what is Quan Yin? Quan Yin means you contemplate the inner vibration, the inner music. The inner, I cannot say it's music, but that again, I cannot say it is not music. And yet, I cannot say it is a vibration. I don't know what it is. In the Bible, it says the word, the sound, the vibration. So it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And everything was made by this Word, and nothing that is made is not made by this Word. Word means sound, vibration, inner music, celestial, I'll say.
Internal divine sound?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. We Chinese say, 那个振动力呀, it means inner vibration. But this vibration, we cannot use the ears to hear it. We cannot use any kind of our human sense organs to touch it or to grasp it. We have to use our inner senses. The inner senses from the inner self. The inner self is the real self. It's not the body. The one who inhabits this body, that is our real self. And when we hear this inner wisdom or inner vibration, that means our inner self has been awakened. So when we say somebody experiences a great awakening, that means exactly like that. Awakening, who is awakening? every day our eyes are so big and open and we are not awakened? You must be joking. No, I'm not joking. We are not awakened. We are only awakened when we are enlightened. When our inner self awakens, now it is sleeping. Therefore, we cannot experience the inner world or the blessing from God or from heaven. We are in this world. We are living, swimming, suffering in this material, physical, mortal world. So we are dead. Oh, sorry, I shocked you again. We are alive again when we are awakened.
The Quan method gives you immediate inner experiences of the inner world, of inner light without light, of inner sound without sound. It's all from God's direct inner teaching, from Buddha's direct inner teaching. That's what you must know to be liberated in one lifetime, in this lifetime. Even in the Dharma ending time, in such a desperate, troublesome, and dangerous time as our time.
By imparting the Quan Yin method of meditation, Supreme Master Ching has been bringing the heavenly sound to humanity and to earth. One of our association members shared with us his realization of the relationship between the Quan Yin method, the heavenly sound, and Supreme Master Ching.
Kính bạch sư phụ, con cảm ơn sư phụ chỉ dạy pháp môn Quan Âm. Thì con cũng có cái trải nghiệm mà ngủ á. Là sư phụ là trong tất cả các tâm linh mà tiến hóa trong vũ trụ này á, thì sư phụ là tâm linh mà đi trước xa cả tất cả các tâm linh khác cả tỷ năm. Sư phụ là mới phát minh ra được hay là tìm được cái pháp môn Quan Âm, và sư phụ chính là cái dòng âm lưu á, để phóng ngược trở lại để độ chúng sanh, tạo dựng ra rất là nhiều cái thế giới tâm linh để các những người tu theo pháp môn Quan Âm được học hỏi tùy theo cái sự phát triển mà giống như là rất là tinh vi. Ai học cái trình độ nào thì được đến cái thế giới tâm linh nó học từng các pháp môn, từng các khoa học kỹ thuật và thay đổi tâm tính của mình rất là chính xác. Nhưng mà riêng ở trái đất này á, thì tất cả phát triển lộn xộn, ai muốn làm sao làm. Nhưng mà những người đã theo pháp môn Quan Âm thì được theo một hệ thống khác, và bên cạnh có một số vị giáo chủ khác đi theo các pháp môn khác thì họ đi theo pháp môn đó, nhưng mà không có nhanh giống như pháp môn này, giống như là đi 7 dặm rất là lẹ. Sư phụ dùng chính sư phụ để giúp đỡ chúng anh, và sư phụ trở lại cái thế giới này rất là nhiều lần, và các cái thế giới tâm linh khác. Sư phụ giống như là người chỉ đạo hết tất cả, làm việc hết tất cả rất là nhiều.
Sao anh biết nhiều chuyện bí mật của CIA vậy?
Sư phụ, cảm ơn sư phụ.
Pháp môn Quan Âm, nhưng mà sư phụ biết cái pháp môn Quan Âm này, cái pháp môn Quan Âm này nó có từ nguyên thủy á, từ cái lúc khai thiên lập địa đó, nó sẽ có hoài. Nó chỉ là không phải là một pháp môn, nhưng mà một cái con đường mà của vũ trụ vậy, một cái quy luật của vũ trụ. Nếu mà mình muốn trở về với nguyên thủy, trở về với cái bản tính chân thật của mình á, với cái thiên đàng á, hoặc là cái Phật tính của mình, thì theo cái định luật này nó cũng như là một cái khoa học rất là chính xác, cũng như 2 với 2 là 4 vậy đó, không có thể làm khác hơn vậy thôi.
This vision revealed that Supreme Master Ching is the very original sound current of creation in physical form, who is here to restore the heavenly sound connection to humankind. We can imagine that when the prime resonance frequency of Earth becomes the heavenly sound, the whole planet will become heaven. Reverend Brandon Biggs' message suggests that more people will get in contact with heavenly sounds. Perhaps this will bring tremendous purification and healing to the world. We thank Reverend Brandon Biggs for bringing us this wonderful news.
There's sounds coming. There's sounds coming. Catch them. You'll get them at birthing them out of prayer. You'll get them birthing them out of prayer. For what happens in the spirit will happen in the natural, but you have to birth it in the spirit into the natural. By prayer and by fellowship with Him, sitting at His feet. The Lord said, there's intimacy, Brandon. Do you see it? There's worship that you know not of. There's heavenly sounds that you know not of. Sitting at my feet. So it was exciting for me going over this stuff with y'all because we're getting so close. The music, He's laying the foundation for what's about to take place. He's getting His church ready for the ones that are listening. Catch it. Be a contender.